Hello there. Welcome back to grade 10 economics. In this video, we want to look at the question paper, which is a March question paper. So we are going to look at question 2 on that question paper. Obviously, our question is on macroeconomics. So on our question, we have question 2.1, which answer the following questions. And then we are going to start on 2.1.1, which is name any two types of human rights. And our question is 2 marks. So obviously we need to understand exactly what do we refer to when we say human rights. But basically, uh, human rights, we are talking about a set of principles concerned with equality and fairness. So when they have a set of principles that is mainly centered on equality and fairness, we call them human rights. So these human rights are they recognize the freedom to make choices. Examples that we have, we can have a right to education, freedom of speech also is a human right, and then a right to religion also is a human right. So those are some of the examples that we can give in terms of uh, human rights. So our question reads, name any two types of human rights. Obviously, we are just going to name them. So obviously, you go to our answer section, try to see what we have in terms of those human rights. So the first one that we have is economic rights, which is right to education, and then we have got the civil rights or the freedom of speech, and then we've got the cultural right or right to religion, and then we've got natural rights or right to human dignity. So basically, these are the rights that we have, but our question is only requiring me to state just two. So we go to the next part of the question, which is why do consumers have to make choices in decision making? Obviously, choices, making a choice, remember, it's a basic economic problem. You have to make a choice when resources are scarce. When you have got scarce resources, that's when you make a choice so that you can make the best decision in terms of the options that we have. So, according to our question, or according to answer section, also we have responses that we have according to reasons why consumers make choices. So we go to other section to try to see. The first one is saying consumers make choices because resources are scarce. To achieve the largest possible satisfaction, consumers must make a choice. So choices are made so that consumers enjoy the maximum possible satisfaction. So basically, that's what we have. Next point is saying satisfying their wants. So consumers make rational decisions. So when I make a rational decision, it's a decision that involves the use of logic over emotion. So basically, that's what we have in terms of rational decision. It's a decision that uses logic over emotion. So basically, we have that explanation. So we go to the next part of the question, where now we are on 2.2 says start the following cartoon and answer the questions that follow. So we're given a cartoon of scarcity. So we go down to see what we have in terms of cartoon. We see that we've got an individual that is standing, that is a woman, and the woman is saying, on the upside, uh, I'm saving a ton of money on food. So basically, that's the statement that has been said by this individual. And also, we've got another statement that is there, which is, and I could close a few pounds anyway. So basically, this person is enjoying that is saving in terms of what she is seeing on the wall. So if you go to the walls or the shelves, we are going to see that it's written out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. So it means that the goods that are the person is looking for are not there. So the person is now saying, I am going to save. So basically, that's the cartoon that we are having there. So we go to the questions that are beneath that. The first question, 2.2.1, is identify the type of scarcity shown by the cartoon above. But we are seeing that we don't have anything in terms of the shelf. So obviously, this is absolute scarcity. So this represents absolute scarcity. So we go to 2.2.2 saying, what is the cause of scarcity on food? So what might be the cause that we don't see anything in the shelves? Basically, it might be we've got more demand of the goods that are not in the shelves. Remember, if demand is too high, all the goods are going to be purchased and they become out of order or out of stock. So basically, that can be one of the reasons. So let's try to see some of the reasons that we can raise according to that. If you come here, you see that these are the reasons that we've got droughts can cause scarcity. If there's drought, remember, if there's drought, it means there's no agriculture that is going to take place. And do you know that a greater proportion of the food stuff are made from agricultural produce. So basically, that can affect, and we have scarcity of such a product or a good. Then also population increase can cause a scarcity. So when there's population increase, also is going to activate demand, and we are going to have higher demand of those goods, and they are going to be all purchased, and then they become in scarcity. So lastly, we've got dependence on international markets. So it can also be a cause of scarcity. So basically, but if you look at our question, it's only looking for one cause, because if you go back, you'll see that this question has got 1 mark, so we are just going to state one cost. So you can just pick any from those points. Then 2.2.3 briefly describe the concept of normative statement. Briefly describe the term normative statement. So a normative statement, we know that it's a statement that's based on value judgment. It's a statement that's based on opinion or value judgment. So let's try to see according to our explanation according to the video. It reads the statement where economist has given his or her opinion or value and judgment. So this is what we have according to the explanation on normative statement. So we have it here. So we go to the next part of the question. We are saying now we are on 2.2.4, which says explain the benefit of using models in the study of economics. So obviously, models, when we use the models, they can be converted to calculations, and obviously, we are going to make predictions in terms of the future patterns or future movement in terms of be it the markets. We can also try to predict what is going to transpire if it's in the market. So and this is the use of models. And then they also bring relationships between different factors. So we can be able to connect between different areas, different sectors, or it might be different factors. So basically, that's what we can go to other section try to see the benefit of using models in the study of economics. So we go there, we see that the benefits that we have listed, the first one is saying economists use models to describe how the economy works and the market function in reality. And the second point is saying they simplify economic issues in a way that everyone can understand. So the comprehension is enhanced when we are using models, as we are seeing in the second point that it simplifies economic issues. So it makes the audience comprehend each and every concept or aspect that needs to be communicated. So we go to the next one. You say to show what has happened in the past and to predict the future. So it can be used as a basis for prediction of what is going to transpire in the future. So basically, it also becomes a benefit. Then lastly, models can be used to explain how data relate to each other. So relationship that exists between different types of data also can be put in place using models. So this is what we have in terms of this part of the question. We go to the next part of the question, which reads, how can the economics improve the economy? So remember, economy is based on the study of how to utilize scarce resources in the economy. So how is it going to improve the economy? Obviously, in terms of efficiency of the resources that are available, we can fully utilize them by use of economy, by the study of economy. So we go to other section again, try to see what we have on them. How can the study of economics improve the economy? The first one is saying the government will predict what will happen to growth and employment. So it can be used to predict macroeconomic factors so that we can move in the positive direction. So remember, this statement is saying it is used in the prediction of growth. Obviously, this is going to be our economic growth in terms of the increase of the monetary value of goods and services that are being produced in the country, and also in terms of prediction of the employment trends. So basically, that's what we have on the first point. Second point is saying business and consumers will learn how to use scarce resources efficiently. So the efficient utilization of resources also is enhanced by the study of economics. Then you go to the next one. Politicians will use economics to identify the policies that take the country forward. Obviously, policy making also is based on economics. We have got fiscal policy as the main policy that is set by the government. So obviously, with the basis of economics, the formulation of the fiscal policy is made easier. So basically, we go to the last point, and economists will give a clear direction to households and entrepreneurs on income and expenditure. So this becomes our last point on the explanations that we have. Then we go to the next part of the question. We now go to the next page whereby we are having 2.3 says study the picture below and answer the questions that follow. So we are seeing that our picture is not very clear, but we are saying that there's something that is written on top, which is ABSA, and we know that ABSA is a bank. And then we go beneath that, we see that 2.3.1 is identify the sector shown by the picture above. So basically, we are saying in which sector do we find banks? So remember, banks offer services. They don't offer tangible products. So basically, when we have such a scenario and we have a bank, we know that this becomes the tertiary sector. So 2.3.1, we are referring to the tertiary. So we try to see, we are saying it's the tertiary sector. Then we go to the next part of the question, which is saying, name one other commercial bank not shown above. We have various commercial banks that we have in South Africa that we can also include there. So we have a list there. We've got FNB, Capitec, Standard Bank, and Nedbank are all other examples that we can give in terms of commercial banks. So we go to the next part of the question, which is saying, briefly describe the concept of globalization. But globalization, we know that it's an aspect that describes the interaction with other countries. When a country is interacting with other countries, is engaging in globalization. International trade also becomes an aspect of globalization, whereby we are exchanging goods with other countries. So basically, that's what we have. So that's a brief description that we can give in terms of globalization. So we can as well go to see what explanation we have. It reads the worldwide interfacing and interaction of economies with trade as an element. So basically, that's what we have. And then the trade that we are talking about is the international trade. Remember, we also have internal trade, whereby it's trade that is transferring within the economy and not going outside the national boundaries. So basically, that's what we get for globalization. So we go to the next part of the question, which reads, what is the importance of the secondary sector in the economy? We know that the secondary sector is the one which is responsible for manufacturing of products. It's responsible for the converting of raw materials of inputs into final goods or products. So basically, its importance is that if you have got a higher activity in that secondary sector, it means we are also going to see macroeconomic positives being introduced from that. We're going to see unemployment going down, also as more goods and services will be produced, and we are going to see more workers being accommodated in businesses or companies. So basically, that's what we have in terms of the importance of a secondary sector. And also, if there's high economic activity, it means also in the secondary sector, the government also is going to earn more revenue through taxation. Remember, the government taxes those firms or businesses that are operating under the secondary sector. So, in that sense, also it becomes a positive. The importance of secondary sector. It also enhances revenue collection from the point of view of the government. So basically, that's what we have. So we go to the other section, also try to see the explanation that we have concerning 2.3.4. So we say that this is the explanation that we have. The first one is saying the importance that is to process natural resources extracted by the primary sector into final product. So it's important. One of the importance is that it is used to process natural resources into a final product. So the second point is saying they provide the economy with job opportunities. So the point that we've just explained. Then lastly, government will levy taxes from these industries, which broaden the tax base. So basically, that's what we have. We go to the next part of the question. Saying 2.3.5, how can the capital-intensive methods of production negatively affect the economy? So when you have a capital-intensive method of production, we are saying we have got more use of machinery in the production processes, and more use of machinery, more use of equipment. So basically, this machinery or equipment is now substituting labor. So we are going to see less workers being needed in the production processes. So if you have a scenario, in such a scenario, it means that more workers are going to be laid off. It's going to lead to unemployment. So this becomes a negative effect now in the citizens of the country, or negative effect on the labor force, as we are seeing unemployment rate going up. due to the capital intensive methods that are being used. So I will go to the other section trying to see again the explanation that has been described there. So we go 2.3.5, we see that economists use 2.3.5, sorry, we can go to 2.3.5 and try to see explanations that we are having. So the explanation that we have is that using more machines than labor will cause more unemployment in the economy. And then during load shedding, there will be less production, which will decrease the real GDP. So we are saying, remember the machinery or the equipment that we are talking about, we use power so that they can be operated. So the backup of power in the form of electricity it would be a major concern when there's load shedding. It will have a very huge effect on the production processes. As we are saying, obviously there will be bottlenecking in production processes. We are going to see production stopping when there are load shedding, so it's going to be a negative effect. So this is what we have on this point. Lastly, we've got import of capital goods causes a dependence on foreign markets and will increase local prices. So basically, you're saying since we are now using equipment, obviously, most of the equipment won't be manufactured in the local economy. We have to acquire those equipment from outside the country, and we are depending now on foreign markets, and this is going to lead to high expenses, high input expenses, as we see that this burden will be passed to the consumer or the customer, and we are going to see prices going up. So basically, that's what we have on 2.3.5. And we go to the next one, which is saying discuss different types of consumer goods. So we have different types of consumer goods that we have got durable consumer goods, semi-durable consumer goods, and non-durable consumer goods. So in terms of durable consumer goods, it really produces a steady stream of satisfaction, and their value diminishes relatively slowly through age and use. And if we give an example of a durable, which is furniture, but durable consumer goods, we are saying these are goods that are going to last for a longer period of time. So we have got an example of furniture. We also have equipment. They are durable consumer goods. So we've got semi-durable consumer goods. They last for some time, but not as long as durable goods. For example, we've got clothing. Then next we've got non-durable consumer goods, which they are consumed in the process of being used, which means they are used only once. For example, food. And then we've got our services. These are intangible goods that satisfy one's, for example, health services. So this is what we have on this question. And remember, our question has got 8 marks. Very important to take note. So each point, which are 2 marks. So we go to the next part of the question 2.5, which saying how can factors of production contribute to the economy? So we know that factors of production, we've got land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship becomes the factors of production that we have. So how can they contribute to the economy? Obviously, labor is the easiest to explain, because labor, we're saying these are workers. They are obviously going to contribute to the economy. If productivity increases in terms of the average number of units that is being produced by each individual worker increases, it's going to lead to economic growth. So basically, it becomes a positive. So the first one is saying natural resources can be sold to other countries, which would increase foreign currency. So this is in the form of land. This is under the umbrella of land. So we go to natural resources. Also, next second point, natural resources creates job opportunities for households, which in turn give them income. The next land can be used for rent royalties, which creates sustainable income for people. In this case, we are talking about the buildings, also the four other land. And then we go to skilled labor through education can be used to improve productivity and hence GDP of a country. So this is raw labor. Then our next capital can be used to produce goods and services in large quantities, giving profits to businesses. So this is our capital can be used to produce. So capital now it becomes our the issue of our equipment and machinery falls under our capital. Then entrepreneur is used to combine other factors of production and make it easy to be innovative. So entrepreneur now describes the issue of knowledge, the knowledge that is possessed by the employers to produce those goods. So this is what we have on 2.5, and try to see what do we have on the next part of the question. We are saying this is a 2.5, and it marks at the end of our question 2. If you come here, you would see that 2.5 becomes the last question that we have according to this video. Remember, we wanted only to look at question 2. So let's not forget to subscribe and share to our channel. And let's share the link to our colleagues who are doing grade 10 economics. More typical examination questions are going to be uploaded on this channel. Let's support the channel. As for this video, I'm signing out. We'll meet again in the next video.